Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man walah wa ba'd. We continue with our study of Jawami Al-Akhbar al-Shaykh al-Shuyukh Abdul Rahman ibn Nasir al-Sa'di alayhi rahmatullah. We have reached al-Hadithu as-Sadis Ashar, the 16th Hadith. We have reached Hadith number 16 inside of this compilation of al-Sa'di alayhi rahmatullah, and it comes an Abi Sirmah رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من دار الله به ومن شق الله عليه. Whoever causes harm, then Allah will harm him, and whoever makes things difficult upon people, Allah will make things difficult upon him. رواه الترمذي وابن ماجه. Hadith reported by Tirmidhi and Ibn Majah. Sheikh As-Sa'di, he says, هذا الحديث دل على أصلين من أصول الشريعة. This hadith, it points to and it indicates two principles from the principles of the legislation. أحدهما, the first of these two principles, أن الجزاء من جنس العمل. And it is this principle that the jaza, the recompense that a person will get for things that he did, will be similar to or from the same category as the action that was done to begin with. This is a principle in the principle from the principles of the legislation, and that is again the jaza min jins al amal, the reward that you get, and this is both in this life and the next, and it will be resemblant to the action that you did. So if you cause harm to others, then you will be harmed. If you go around doing good, then good will come to you. The jaza min jins al amal. Allah Ta'ala says, Hal jaza'ul ihsan illa al-ihsan. Is the recompense for goodness anything other than goodness? Now, and so we have many texts that have come in the Kitab and the Sunnah indicating this tremendous principle, and the Shaykh he mentioned some of them in that which is to come, inshallah ta'ala. Naam, fil khayri wa shar, and this is in both goodness as well as evil. Wa hadha min hikmatillah. This is from the wisdom of Allah, allati yuhmal alayha, which he is to be praised for, as all of the actions of Allah are praiseworthy actions. فَكَمَا أَنَّ مَنْ عَمِلَ مَا يُحِبُّهُ اللَّهُ أَحَبَّهُ اللَّهُ. So just as it is the case that whoever does an action that Allah loves, then on the account of that, him pursuing and doing actions that Allah loves, Allah will love him, because the jaza min jins al-amal. Now, he says, وَمَنْ عَمِلَ مَا يُبْغِضُهُ أَبْغَضَهُ اللَّهُ. And whoever does actions that Allah hates, then Allah will hate him on the account of that. وَمَنْ يَسَرَ عَلَى مُسْلِمٍ يَسَرَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ. Whoever makes things easy for a Muslim, whoever makes things easy for a Muslim, then Allah shall make things easy for him in this life as well as in the hereafter. You strive to relieve distresses from the distresses of your brothers and your sisters. As we know, sometimes the dunya can get the better of us, and we begin to stress out about certain things that afflict us in our lives, whether it is our health, whether it may be our financial situation. We don't know how the rent's going to get paid. It feels like the walls are closing in on us, and the Muslims strive to come and to relieve that stress for that Muslim. Then the hope is that Allah will remove the stress from us, from the distresses on the Day of Judgment. من فرج عن مؤمن كربة من كرب الدنيا. Whoever relieves a distress from a believer from the distresses of this dunya, فرج الله عنه كربة من كرب يوم القيامة. Allah shall remove a distress from him from the distressful things on the Day of Judgment. والله في حاجة العبد ما كان العبد في حاجة أخي. And Allah will continuously be there to help you as long as you are in the service trying to aid your brother. The جزاء من جنس العمل. وكذلك من ضر مسلما ضره الله. Similarly, whoever harms a Muslim, Allah will cause harm to him. Whoever harms a Muslim, Allah will cause harm to him. ومن مكر به مكر الله به. And whoever schemes and plots against a Muslim, Allah will launch a plot against him. وَمَنْ شَقَّ عَلَيْهِ شَقَّ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ. And whoever makes things difficult upon a Muslim, Allah will make things difficult upon him. إلى غير ذلك من الأمثلة داخلة في هذا الأصل. And other than this, from the examples that enter into this principle. Al-Asl al-Thani, the second principle that this hadith contains inside of it, Man ad-darar wal-mudarrah, is prevention of harm and harmful things. Prevention of harm and harmful things. وَأَنَّهُ لَا ضَرَرَ وَلَا ضِرَارَ, as the Prophet said, alayhi wasallam, there should neither be initiation of harm nor reciprocal harm. We go back and forth harming each other, right? I should not harm you, nor should just be a habit amongst us that we go back and forth harming each other. هذا يشمل أنواع الضرر كله, and this is something which is inclusive of all of the types of harm, whether it is verbal harm, physical harm, harm in one's religion, financial harm. We should not cause harm to the people. وَالضَّرَرُ يَرْجَعُ إِلَىٰ أَحَدْ أَمْرَيْنِ, and harm, it goes back to one of two affairs. إِمَّا تَفْوِيت مَصْلَحَةٍ, either the removal of something that is beneficial, right? You remove something that is beneficial, causing, again, financial harm, or you may cause harm to your health. These are things that are beneficial. Finances, health, all these things are beneficial. If I remove that benefit, this is a harm. Al-husul mudarra biwajh min al-wujuh, or the bringing about of some other type of harm in any way whatsoever. فَالضَّرَرُ غَيْرُ مُسْتَحِقٍ لَا يَحِلْ إِيصَالُهُ وَعَمَلُهُ مَعَ النَّاسِ. And so therefore harm is something which it is not, it should not be done, nor is it permissible to cause harm to reach the people or to enact harm amongst the people. بل يجب على الإنسان أن يمنع ضرره وأذاه عنهم من جميع الوجوه. Rather, it is obligatory upon a person that he withhold his harm, that you withhold your harm, you withhold your tongue from harming the people verbally, and you withhold your actions from harming the people physically. He says, and this is in relation to doing any type of harm. He mentioned some examples. At-tadlis, it is to is a type of deception, right? Tadlis in hadith, right? You have tadlis in hadith, but tadlis is not restricted to the science of hadith. What tadlis in hadith is if I know that my sheikh, he may be weak in hadith, but I want you to accept the hadith from me. So in order to not lie, I will use a name that he's less known by, right? Maybe he is Abu Abdullah. He's known by Abu Abdullah, but he has another son named Muhammad. So I call him Abu Muhammad, narrated to me. So I'm not lying because he is the father of Muhammad. He has a son named Muhammad, but nobody knows him by Abu Muhammad. Everyone knows him by Abu Abdullah, right? And so, but everyone knows that Abu Abdullah is weak in narration. So it's a type of deception that I'm using to get you to accept this narration from me. And this is an example in hadith. Tadlis in any shape or form whatsoever is a type of deception, and deceiving the people is harming them, right? So he mentions as well ghish, cheating, trying to swindle them and get over on them. Now, he says that fil mu'amalat, in social dealings and interaction, whether it is cheating in terms of marriage. Some of the people, they want to get married to someone and they conceal certain things about themselves. Maybe they conceal the fact that they have an STD, or they conceal the fact that, right, they're really broke and can't afford a wife, right, but they want to get married anyway, right, or she conceals the fact that she's bipolar, she's on meds. Whatever the case may be, people conceal things about themselves. This is ghish, it's cheating, it's deception in mu'amalat, and it's not restricted to that, but this is one example. Any type of cheating, right, whether it's we're doing business together, and I teach you, I'll get over on you in business, and the likes of that, right? This is something which is not permissible. وَكَتْمِ الْعُيُوبِ فِيهَا. Likewise, if we're doing business, you want to buy a car from me, I know that the car is not right. I may be able to get it up and running, right, just to sell it to you, so for you to drive around the block and feel confident about it, right? And then you leave, and I know good and well 2 days later it's going to break down on you, right? But I hid these defects. I hid the defects that are in the car, that I knew was in the car, right? Then this is the type of cheating or the concealment of faults. Well, makr, and likewise scheming and plotting. Well, khida', deception. Najash, We spoke about Najish before. Anybody remember what this is? Najish, I likened it to the 3-card Mahdi, but it's not. So what Najish is, right? We're in the marketplace. We're in the marketplace. You're selling your stuff. I'm selling my stuff. He's selling his stuff, right? People are coming to him. They're coming to him, but they're not coming to me. I have a business partner. My business partner is a silent partner. People don't really know he's my partner, but he sees that people are not coming to me. What does he do? He comes and he says, oh, you got the such and such. Right? Everybody wants that. Right? He's all loud, trying to draw interest to it, make the people interested. Right? And so when the people see it, they say, oh, okay, well, what does he have? Right? And so, yeah, I'll pay top dollar for that. Don't y'all know what he has over here? Right? This is a type of, it's called najash. Right? And it's something that's been prohibited. The Prophet Muhammad alayhi said, well, la tanajashu. Don't practice najash between each other. Don't do this to each other. He mentioned a number of things. Why? Because these things harm brotherhood. They harm the unity and the love that Muslims should have for each other. You find out somebody got you like that, oh, they schemed and they plotted on me like that and they got me like that, it will harm the way that you feel about your brothers. It will affect it. And it's something which is inevitable. وَتَلَقِّي رُكْبَانِ. Another type of transaction is not permissible. تَلَقَّى رُكْبَانِ, what the scholars describe this as, if someone is coming to the marketplace with something that I know it sells really, really well, right? I want to buy it, but I may not want to go to the marketplace for whatever reason. I catch you in the pathway before you get to the marketplace. I cut you off. All right, Talaqi Rukban is what it's called. I cut you off before you even get to the marketplace, beat everybody out because I caught you on your way, right? Hey, before you get there, I want to buy half of your stock, right? And now I just cut all these other, potential buyers out so I can get what I wanted, right? And I didn't care about them getting what they needed or wanted, right? This is something likewise which is not permissible. Because it causes harm to the marketplace. It causes harm to the consumers. وَبَيْعَ الْمُسْلِمْ عَلَى بَيْعَ أَخِيهِ. Prophet Muhammad, he mentioned, وَلَا يَبِعْ بَعْضُكُمْ عَلَى بَيْعِ بَعْضٍ. He says, don't undercut or overcut each other in your business transactions. I know that you're trying to sell something, right? And I see that you're talking to this brother over here. He's about to buy it from you. And I say, hold up. I got the same thing, but it's cheaper, right? I cut your business off. I got the same thing, but it's cheaper. So you got what? You got everybody wants to pay the lower price, right? So this is something that will cause harm as well to the brotherhood. So we're not to do it due to the harm that it causes. وَالشِّرَاء عَلَى شِرَائِهِ. Selling over that which he is selling, right? Buying over that which he is buying. So if he's trying to buy something and the deal is about to be sealed, I'll come say, no, I'll pay more than what he's going to pay for that, right? I need it more than he does, I'll pay more. Likewise, this is something which causes harm. وَمِثْلُهُ الْإِجَارِ. And from that as well is the affair of renting. The affair of renting, we should not undercut each other in this as well. وَجَمِيعَ الْمُعَامَلَاتِ. And all other types of social dealings and interactions, we are not to cheat and swindle each other in the likes of these transactions. وَخِطْبَةُ عَلَى خِطْبَةِ أَخِي. Likewise, proposing over the proposal of your brother. If you know that your brother's interested in this lady, he proposed to her for marriage, right? You cannot come behind your brother and propose to the same lady that he proposed to unless you know that your brother has left it. Once you know that he's left his interest in this lady, then you can come back after that and perhaps propose to her if you're interested in her, right? The scholars, they also extract from this another benefit. Since it is not permissible to propose over the proposal of your brother, right, your Muslim brother, if it be that your brother has proposed to, if it be that a kafir has proposed to a Christian or Jewish woman, and you want to gamble with your deen by marrying a non-Muslim woman, a Christian or Jewish woman, right? Because that's what is a gamble with your deen. If you choose to gamble with your deen like that and marry this Christian or Jewish woman, and she happens to fit into the category of Christian and Jewish women that we can marry, meaning that she's chaste, she does not take boyfriends, right? If she has been intimate with somebody, it's been somebody that she was married to only, right? Not that she has to be a virgin, but if she has been intimate, it's only been to someone that she was married to. If she fits that category and a kafir has proposed to her, you can propose over his proposal. He's not your brother, right? He's not your brother. If you want to gamble with your deen like that, right? But we recommend marrying the Muslim sisters. At any rate, you can't propose over the proposal of your brother due to the harm that it would cause. It would affect him. It would affect his heart. It would affect the brotherhood. Now, وخطبة الوظائف التي فيها أهل لها قائم بها. Likewise, if there are jobs and functions that there is someone who is more suitable to fill that position, and you know this person is more suitable to fill that position, you should not come and try to push him out the way so you can take the position. Right? Now, فكل هذا من المضارة المنهي عنها. All of this is from those things that are harmful that have been prohibited. كل معاملة من هذا النوع. And all other transactions from this type and category, فإن الله لا يبارك فيها. Then Allah will not bless them for you. He will not bless them. If you happen to come and push your brother out of the way and propose to a lady that you know that you feel like that you want to propose to, Allah will not bless that marriage for you. You're going to find all types of problems and issues in it, and you're not going to know where they came from. Right? If it be that you undercut someone in their business transaction, and you get the business transaction to go your way, after you cut your brother out, and you cause harm to him that way, the jazam and jinsan amal, you're going to find it's not going to work out how you want it to work out. Allah will not bless it. لأنه من ضر مسلما ضره الله. Why? Because whoever harms a Muslim, Allah will harm him. ومن ضره الله, and whoever Allah causes harm to, ترحل عنه الخير, then good will leave. Good will leave. وتوجه إليه الشر, and evil will come to him. وذلك بما كسبت يداه, and this is due to that which his hands have earned. Now, ويدخل في ذلك مضرة الشريك لشريكه. Likewise, what enters into that is business partners harming each other. Business partners causing harm to each other. والجار لجاره, and the neighbor causing harm to his neighbor. بقول أو فعل, yani whether it be harm by way of statement or harm by way of actions. Yani the neighbor has a right that is tremendous in our religion. We are not to harm our neighbors, and we need to bear this in mind as Muslims in our masjid, causing harm to the neighbors of the masjid. Like we find some of the people doing with the parking on Friday. We tell the people every single week, be mindful of the double parking, be mindful of the parking. And the neighbors are starting to complain. The neighbors are starting to complain, right? And we get the complaints. You may park your car there, and then you leave, and you don't come back till next Friday. But then the neighbors complain to us, right? It's not permissible for us to harm our neighbors, whether they are neighbors of the masjid or neighbors in your home. You don't harm them with statement. You don't harm them with actions, right? From the harm, Sheikh Saleh Fawzan mentioned this exact thing. From harming the neighbor is to park your car in front of your neighbor's house, right? To park your car in front of your neighbor's house, right? When you know that the neighbor parks there. This is something that will cause harm to the neighbor. So, harming them with statement or action. حتى إنه لا يحله أن يحدث بملكه, to the point that it's not even permissible for you to do something on your own property if what you do on your own property is going to cause harm to your neighbor, right? Making noise, being loud, right? Filth and dirt and the likes of this, things that would harm your neighbor, right? Even if it's on your own property, you can't do it, much less doing something outside of your property that would cause harm to your neighbor. Now, فضلا عن مباشرة الإضرار به, much less directly harming them. A lot of things enter into this harm of the neighbor, as we're going to cover these things as well in the Adab al-Mufrad class that we do on Saturdays. Eventually, we're going to come to the narrations to speak about this. But from that, peeking into your neighbor's home, right? Peeking into your neighbor's home, right? He opens his door and you look and you can see inside of his house. This is something which is not permissible due to the harm that it causes to the neighbor. You're looking at, you can see his wife and see his daughters and like this, right? All types of trash. That sometimes you find that people, they just tossing trash and whatnot. It's something which causes harm to the neighbor. It is haram. It's not permissible. Again, the neighbor has a right that is tremendous in our religion. Now, يدخل في ذلك مضر الغريم لغريمه وسعيه في المعاملات التي تضر بغريمه. Likewise, a person who يعني he interacts with another person in a particular type of interaction, and he works therefore to cause harm in the interaction which he does between that person, him and that person, حتى انه لا يحله ان يتصدق ويترك ما وجب عليه من الدين إلا بإذن غنيمه. So a person may, and you may owe someone something, right? You may owe someone something, and you cannot cause harm to the person that you owe. You got what's called batul ghani, right? Batul ghani is that a person owes someone some money. Say I owe you some money, right? And I have the ability to pay you what I owe you, but I prolong it. I prolong it unnecessarily. This is harm. It's not permissible. It's haram. It's causing harm to you, right? You have more right to hold your own money. I don't got to hold your money. If you have more right to hold your money than I do. So this is something which is not permissible. And to delay paying you when I have the means to pay you and I owe you is something which is harmful. It's not permissible, right? Now, likewise, if I were to take and say I want to go and give sadaqah, but I owe you money, but I want to give sadaqah to somebody, right? I can't give that sadaqah until I ask your permission first. I got to ask your permission first if I owe you. Now, he says that أو يرهن موجودات, and keeping people in a state of limbo when you owe them money, and have the ability to pay them. This is something which is impermissible. Or to free us, or to give, to pay a waqf, to pay an endowment. I know that the masjid may need something, but yet I owe so-and-so some money. This is I can't give that endowment until I seek that person's permission. I can't free a slave with that money due to what this causes of harm to the one that I owe. أو ينفق أكثر من اللازم بغير إذنه. Or I may spend more than what is necessary without seeking that person's permission. Meaning I may splurge a little bit while I owe this person money, right? It's one thing if I'm just handling my needs. I'm just handling my needs, and I don't, beyond my need, I don't have enough to pay you right now, right? But if I want to splurge, I want to get not just what I need, but something that I want while I owe you, I have to seek your permission first. كذلك ضرار في الوصايا. Similarly, is the affair of causing harm in wills, in one's will. كما قال تعالى من بعد وصية يوصى بها أو دين غير مضار. He said this is after the payment of legacies that one has bequeathed, or payment of one's debts without causing harm. This is ayat that's speaking about inheritance, right? And how inheritance is one thing, but will is something different. Your inheritance is already predetermined by the Quran and the Sunnah who gets what from your wealth, right? The son gets X amount, X percentage, the daughter gets X percentage, the wife gets so-and-so percentage, the father gets so-and-so percentage, the mother gets this. It's already predetermined. But that is after your wasiyah, after your will. Your will, it includes whoever you owe money to, right? Maybe I owe such and such. I need to write that down. I need to write it down so that I don't pass away and nobody knows that I owe such and such. And now you come looking for his money and people looking at him like he's crazy. I need to write that down. I owe such and such for a loan to buy my car. I owe such and such that he loaned me some money to do whatever, right? You need to write that down and make sure that it's somewhere safe, right? Somewhere that people have access to it. Because this is part of your will. So you may say that I want Abdul Latif to receive my car. I want Raheem to take my library. I want this brother to get my such and such. I want this brother to get so-and-so. This is your will, right? I want so-and-so to get $5,000 of my money, right? That's your will. After all that's done, your debts are paid. What's left is your inheritance, right? That's your inheritance. So what you find people doing is they write a will intentionally to cut certain people out of the will, right? It's something which is not, and the kuffar do it all the time, right? They say, okay, I had to work for my wealth. I don't want to leave my kids nothing. They got to work for it. I leave it all to my dog, right? They do silly stuff like this. I leave it all to my cat, The cat just, eating bags of meow mix and, for the rest of his life. Right? And so this is that wills that cause harm are not permissible due to the harm that they cause. Now, so he says, بأن يخص أحد ورثته بأكثر مما له. So a person may specify one of his relatives by bequeathing to him more than he actually has a right to. أو ينقص الوارث, or he decreases from one particular relative due to a grudge that he had. Maybe he didn't really like that relative. He didn't like that son of his or that daughter of his or whatever the case may be, or that brother or sister of his. أو يوصي لغير وارثه بقصد الإضرار بالورثة, or he may bequeath something for the sole purpose of harming those who actually have a right to inherit. Right? I say, okay, like I said, I'm gonna give it to my cat. I want everything to go to, to my monkey and stuff like this. كذلك لا يحل إضرار الزوج بزوجته. Likewise, the husband cannot harm his wife. The husband cannot harm his wife in any way whatsoever. Nor can she harm him. إما أن يعضلها ظلما لتفتري منه, either by way of leaving her in hanging like she's in a state of limbo, in order that she can seek khula from him and thus ransom herself from him. She gets so frustrated and tired of just not being married nor unmarried, right? She can't enjoy her husband. He's just leaving her hanging, nor is she single such that she can marry somebody else. He just leaves her like this until she gets fed up and tired of it, and she says, you know what, just give me the khula. Here, take your money back, right? This is not permissible due to the harm that it causes. Either you stay with her in kindness or you let her go in kindness. If you know that you don't want her, you let her go in kindness. If you want to stay with her, then treat her like a wife. Treat her properly. أو يراجعها لقصد الإضرار, or he may have divorced her, right? He leaves her hanging, like you find that some of the people do. May Allah guide us in them. They'll leave her hanging all the way up until the iddah is about to end. She's about to be free. He takes her back. But he don't take her back because he wants her. He takes her back to harm her. He's أو يميل إلى إحدى زوجاته ميلا يضر بالأخرى, or he may incline towards one of his wives in a case of polygyny, so far that it harms the other. He may lean to her and incline towards her so much that it causes harm to the other one. ويجعلها كالمعلقة, and he leaves her as though she's just in a state of limbo. Neither married nor unmarried. Not fulfilling her rights, doesn't pay her bills, doesn't come to her, and the likes of this. من ذلك الحيف في الأحكام والشهادات والقسمة وغيرها على أحد الشخصين لنفع الآخر. Likewise is the affair of oppression in terms of rulings and judgments and testimonies and division of wealth, and other than that, towards one of two parties in order to cause harm to the other. فكل هذا داخل في المضرة وفاعله مستحق للعقوبة. All of that enters into that which is harmful, and the one that does that is subject to punishment. وأن يضر الله به, and that Allah Ta'ala should harm him. أشد من ذلك الوقيعة في الناس عند الولاة والأمراء. And even more severe than that is reviling people in the presence of the ruler, speaking ill about them in the presence of the ruler and the leaders, in order that one can convince the ruler to bring down a punishment upon that person. Not out of justice, but it's just out of I just don't like that person, so I'm a tarnish their reputation in front of those who are in charge, in order to bring down some type of punishment upon that person, or to take some of his wealth, أو منعه من حق هو له, or to prevent him from a right that he has. فإن من عمل هذا العمل فإنه باغ. Then the one who does that, indeed, he is transgressive. فيتوقع العقوبة العاجلة والآجلة, and he can expect a punishment coming to him in this life as well as in the hereafter. Why the جزاء من جنس العمل. Just as you cause harm, then harm shall come to you. You cause harm to others, harm will come to you. ومن هذا, and from this, نهى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أن يورد ممرض على مسح. And from this is that the Prophet ﷺ, he prohibited one who was sick being brought into the presence of those who are healthy, right? Due to the harm that this could potentially cause, right? لما في ذلك من الضرر, due to what this has in it of harm. كذلك نهى الجذم ونحوهم عن مخالطة الناس. He also prohibited the leper, the one who has leprosy, and those who are similar to the leper, from mixing and mingling with the healthy folk. وهذا وغيره داخل في قوله تعالى. All of this and more enters into the statement of Allah the Exalted. والذين يؤذون المؤمنين والمؤمنات بغير ما اكتسبوا فقد احتملوا بهتانا وإثما مبينا. Indeed, those who cause harm to the believing men and believing women without something they have earned themselves, they have indeed borne slander and a tremendous or clear sin. وَنَهَى عَنْ تَرْوِيعَ الْمُسْلِمِ. And he likewise, it is prohibited to cause fear to the Muslim, scaring a Muslim, right? As we spoke with the kids in Tawheed first about this today and yesterday, as we're discussing the nullifiers of Islam. And from the nullifiers of Islam is al-istihza, is making a mockery of the deen of Allah, or making a mockery of his punishment and his reward, or paradise in the fire. Making a mockery of these things is a nullifier of a person's Islam. So we use this as a segue to go into the permissible and impermissible ways of joking for the Muslim. We can joke, we can have a good time, you can laugh, we can smile. There's nothing wrong with that. We have senses of humor, right? And we don't mind joking, but there are etiquettes to joking in our religion, and certain things that we don't do, certain things we don't joke about, right? We don't mind a good knee slapper, right? But certain things we don't joke about. We don't joke about Allah's religion. We don't joke about Allah. We don't joke about paradise and the hellfire. Like these, I don't know who they were. I don't know, they was from Mashi around the corner, some community here in Baltimore. They had these skits they put online. They were making jokes out of the issue of sins and Tawbah and things like this, right? Making jokes out of it. Skits to make people laugh, right? It's not funny. We don't joke about sins, disobedience, hellfire, paradise, Tawbah. That's not funny, right? There's a million and one things we can joke about that would be funny, that would be hilarious, right? But certain things we don't play about. Amongst the etiquette of joking as well is that, one, we don't joke with people who shouldn't be joked with, right? Respected elders and things like that. Unless that elder, he gives you that leeway to joke with them and play with them in certain regards, right? But even still, it has to remain respectful. It has to remain respectful. The Prophet joked with his companions, they joked with him. The companions, they used to joke with each other. As is known, they would toss watermelons at each other. But when it was time to be serious, they were men. They were true men, right? One of the jokes the Prophet told, as we shared with the children, he came behind one of his companions in the marketplace and grabbed him from behind, right? He's in the marketplace buying and selling stuff. He grabbed the man from behind and he yelled out, "Who wants to buy the slave from me?" Right? The man said, "Who's this? Get off me." Right? When he turned around, he saw who it was. It's the Prophet. He put his back against the Prophet's chest and let him grab him again. Right? And the Prophet repeated the joke, "Who wants to buy the slave from me?" He said, "O Messenger of Allah, you're going to find that I'm going to be cheap." He said, "Rather, with Allah, you are expensive. You're valuable." Right? But he would joke. But again, certain ways we don't joke. We don't lie when we joke. As the Prophet even told this, it wasn't a lie, was it? He was a slave of Allah, right? Slave of Allah, so it wasn't a lie. All right, so we don't lie when we joke. And one of the ways that we cannot joke, we don't joke by scaring each other. We don't joke by scaring people, jumping out, you were scared, laughing. We don't joke by scaring people, right? Because whoever does that, whoever scares the believers, Allah will strike fear to him, Yawm al-Qiyamah. Right? The jazaa min jins al-amal. The reward is from the same category as the action that was done. So we don't make tarwir al-Muslim. We don't scare or frighten the Muslim, even if we're just joking when we do it. Even if we're just joking when we do it, right? We cause harm to the person, cause their heart rate to go up. You scare them by, taking their money or something like that and hiding it from them, right? Taking their wallet and hiding it. They're frantic. They're looking all around. Got all the information, the card, their debit cards, the ID and everything is in it. Maybe some, something that he don't want people to see. You causing them to become frantic, right? You know, as one of the Sahaba, they did this, in the Prophet alayhi he admonished them for this. They hid one of the Sahaba's walking stick, right? And they were laughing as he was going around trying to find his walking stick. He was frantic looking for it, and they were laughing and joking about it. The Prophet admonished them severely for this. Now, وَمِنْ هَذَا السَّخْرِيَّةُ بِالْخَلْقِيَّةِ, and from that as well is sakhriya, is belittlement of each other, belittlement of people. وَالْإِسْتِهْزَاءُ بِهِمْ, making a mockery of them. وَالْوَقِيعَ فِي أَعْرَاضِهِمْ, and likewise harming them in terms of their honor, speaking about their honor. وَتَحْرِيشْ بَيْنَهُمْ, and causing fitna between them, causing disturbance and fitna between them. وكله داخل في المضرة والمشاقة الموجبتين للعقوبة. All of that, it enters into that harm and difficulty that will bring about punishment. And the one who does it is deserving of punishment. كما يدل الحديث بمنطوقه, as the hadith indicates by its wording. وأن من ضر وشاق ضره الله وشاق عليه. It is that whoever causes harm and makes things hard upon the people, Allah will harm him and make things hard upon him. فإن مفهومه يدل على أن من أزال ضرر ومشقة على مسلم فإن الله يجلب له الخير. And from the understanding that we get from this narration as well is that whoever removes harm, whoever works to remove harm and difficulty from a Muslim, then Allah, He will bring about goodness for that person. ويدفع عنه الضرر ومشقة, and He will remove from him harm and difficulty, جزاء وفاقا, as a suitable reward for what he has done. سواء كان متعلقا بنفسه أو بغيره, whether that may be connected with himself or other than him. Now, this concludes the explanation of this hadith. Very beautiful hadith, very beautiful explanation. Allah ta'ala knows best. هذا وصلى الله